everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for today's edition of YBMcast Player Spotlight. And today, to my right, is a young man from Marquette High School, Jack Holubowski. He is a 2023, right?
Yep.
Senior this year.
Yep, senior year.
And he has taken the time, allowed us to bring him on the show and talk some baseball. We appreciate it, young man.
Yeah,
How are you?
I appreciate it as well. I'm doing well today. How about you?
I'm good.
That's good.
I kind of first got a glimpse at you. We were at the
Sports Barn.
Yes.
Yeah.
PBR event.
Yeah.
And watched you swing the bat. Had a lot of pop in your bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking with Kevin Mulder, and I said,
Yeah.
that guy's, he goes, oh, he's for real.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of just an event where, like, I hadn't done an event in a while. I've kind of been training, like, kind of building up strength and all that stuff. Just kind of wanted to see where I sat, I guess, measurement-wise, like exit velo, arm velo, all that stuff. Kind of want to see how I tested out. I wasn't really doing it for recruiting purposes, obviously. I just kind of wanted to see where I was compared to last time, see what my training was doing and how it was paying off. So, but I was pretty happy with my performance, and it was good. So,
Want to start off. I always like to do this with the player spotlights because, baseball in St. Louis is big.
Yeah.
The state of Missouri is there's a lot of talent in the state of Missouri right now.
It's pretty crazy. I would argue that if you put a team from Missouri together and put it against any other, if all the guys in Missouri went to one college, I would argue that they would compete for a national title every year. I could argue that, especially for my class and classes below me. The volume of talent and the talent pool here is insane, and I think it stems from the competitive upbringing of like how competitive youth baseball is. Like when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, like it started to get competitive and like it was pretty cutthroat. So I think having that building up to high school is what really breeds the competitive nature of a lot of players in St. Louis. So
Wow. I love to hear that. And so let's talk about that. Growing up playing baseball in the Lou,
Yeah.
As you said, so you're looking at 11. How'd you get in starting baseball? Were you playing other sports?
So I started playing baseball when I was 5. At the time I was playing basketball, hockey. My dad played hockey at Penn State, so kind of wanted to take after him. I really enjoyed hockey, but I always knew from when I was really little that baseball was going to be my thing. Always been an athletic kid, so I enjoyed playing other sports too. But I got into baseball when I was 5, just kind of ran with it, and then played on like a non-club team up until I was about 12, and then kind of got into club, kind of preparing for high school because it's kind of what everyone does at that point. Kind of just skyrockets from there, and then they really tell you to like get in a club for recruiting and stuff. But I mean it's been awesome. I've enjoyed every second of it. So
Who'd you play for? The
my non-club team was the Titans.
The Titans.
Solid team, yeah. We would always compete and play a lot of local, go out of town, and yeah, solid group of dudes. So I'm still in touch with a lot of them. Some of them play on my club team now. So
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So how many of those kids? How many kids do you play with in the summer that are actually on your high school team as compared to dudes from just in other schools?
Yeah. So I mean, on my summer team, there's no one from my high school, which is kind of crazy. It's definitely a scenery shift. But played with a lot of kids from Francis Howell, out in that area. Some kids from over the river in Illinois come over and play, but some kids from Fort Zumwalt West up in there. So, I mean, we have a great group of guys. I've enjoyed playing summer ball with them. I know it's kind of like over, I guess, but it's been awesome. So yeah, I mean, high school ball, obviously, dudes from my area, and once summer starts, it's completely different. So,
I think that's an interesting thing.
I do too. I really do.
Because the dynamic is different, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
And that was always a question. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to jump ahead of this because where you're at with that, I love this question. So that begs the question: how different is it, from summer baseball to high school baseball?
Yeah. I think it's a totally different feel. In the way that I feel with high school ball, you're playing for a lot more, I guess, stake-wise. You're playing for a lot more than yourself. I feel like it's more of a team atmosphere, like everything for the team. Obviously, summer ball can be that way too.
Sure.
But I think in summer, guys are strictly trying to get recruited. They're trying to show out for colleges and pro scouts and whatever they're looking for in the future. I think in high school baseball, it's kind of about just you want to win. And obviously you always want to win, but I think the feel of summer ball and high school ball are totally different, and I think people see it that way as well.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. I was talking with Kevin Mulder today on the show, and he said we were talking about rings in high school baseball and that push,
Yeah.
I think there is that, there's not a lot of people that wearing even a high school state championship ring, right?
Right. I think achieving a state championship is one of the greatest things you can achieve as a high school baseball player. I think it's super cool. It's always been one of my dreams. I've only had one chance to do it myself, just being only able to play my sophomore year, but I'm looking forward to do it with the group of guys this year. So I think we have a shot to make it pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the guys.
Yeah, we have a lot of returning guys. Good group of dudes. I think if we can really put it together and do what we need to do every day and be consistent with it, I think we can have a really good shot at it. Because
not only, your upcoming senior year, not only was it you, but you had another big cog in your machine went down with an injury as well, right? Yeah. Who's that?
Mason Breinbach. He's now at Bradley. Talk to him every day. He's one of my closest friends. He's doing great. So he's having a blast there. I hope the best for him because he's a really special kid, and he has the talent to go a long way. So, and that was tough on him. That was being his senior year. I can't imagine, dude. I can't imagine for the guys that lost their senior year when I was a freshman to the COVID season where they canceled everything. Couldn't imagine. We had a really good group of dudes that year too. Ian Losey, he's at Mizzou now. And I was really, because not to, Kevin and I, Matt, we had been talking about, Marquette, and it was a tough deal. They'd lost Bradenbach. Yeah. But you guys got it together and made a decent run. We really pulled it together. There was a time in the season where we were kind of struggling, and I think every team's going to experience adversity, and the fact that we experienced that so early in the season, I think really, really helped us. Because I mean, me and Mason are going to be the 3-4 hitter. Looking forward to having a great season. My junior year, his senior year, after he's coming off an all-state selection. Mason's probably one of the purest hitters I've ever seen. Just how his mental approach and his approach at the plate. So I think the fact that we faced adversity early in the season like that as a team is what really set us up with the right mentality going forward, and just kind of what do we have to lose? Everyone's we're in a hard district. We got Lafayette, Eureka, CBC. It's tough. It's not a cakewalk, is it? Right. So I think the fact that we kind of just kept at it and kept pushing every day and having good practices and stuff is really what led us to success in the end. So very good. Let's talk about that real quick. You had an injury, right? Boom, at the begining of it. Went down right away. How'd you get through that mentally? I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, it was terrible. It was really tough. Probably for the first 9 weeks, I'd say. Just really tough because it's something I've never experienced before. It's I gotta get through it. I try to stay as positive as I could. Surround myself with people that help me think that way. People that bring me up. But there's obviously times where you're watching, and you're like, this sucks. Baseball is what I love to do, and I can't do it. You're taking away the thing that I love to do. And obviously there's no stopping that. Freak injury, swinging just right out. Yeah, tell us about that. What happened? Yeah, so it's actually kind of a coincidence because about 11 months prior to that first game, we were playing Parkway South at home, and I dove for a line drive and caught it. Guys on first and second, I remember it so vividly because it kind of shocked me. No runners advanced, but I caught it, and my shoulder subluxed, so I stood up and I couldn't feel my arm. Ooh. So it was numb. I was that's weird. So I'm shaking it out, kind of moving it around. Nothing's hurting. It's just kind of it went numb, and in my mind I'm thinking why did that just happen? Because it's not supposed to happen. But nothing hurt, so I was so confused as to why I was feeling that way. Anyway, I played the rest of the game. I think I hit a double down the line the next at bat. Like, I had no pain swinging at all. And just literally moved on from there. Played all summer, pain-free, all off season. I had to have taken tens of thousands of swings leading up to that first high school game with no problem, with no worry at all. My first high school at bat, hit an opposite taco bomb, awesome way to start the year. And then next at bat, low and away, like curveball, kind of just reached for it, and same thing happened. And I was thinking like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Same thing happened like 11 months ago, but I was like, why is it happening now? But after that, my swing didn't feel quite the same. Like, my hands felt slow when I was pulling. It didn't feel like I had the power that I had before. So then I was thinking like, oh, something's wrong. But like, me being stubborn as I am, like, we go home that night. I'm like, I'm playing tomorrow. Like, I gotta play. And like, I woke up next morning, a little sore. I'm swinging in the cage. I'm sore. I'm like, I should have told myself like it's not the right thing to do to play. But me being me, I went back out there. I actually had a base hit my first at bat, which was kind of crazy. Ground ball up the middle, and then next at bat, same thing happened. That's when I kind of knew like it was serious. So like, all this emotion just like pouring down. It sucked, but I knew like I needed to go get it checked out and just go from there. So that's kind of how it happened.
It's difficult, I think, as a young player.
Yeah.
When you're 9, 10, 11, 12, growing up, Dad says, rub some dirt on it. You go up, and a lot of times there's not a real, unless you break something.
Because you're not mature enough, you're not physically developed enough to sustain those injuries. But like, just getting stronger and getting bigger as you mature and get older, you're obviously more susceptible to injury. So
I think it's difficult for a high school player to really understand then you haven't really learned your body in those respects. And like you said,
right.
That's weird, okay, shake it.
Yeah, play on it, right.
Play. But as you continued to play, it did more damage and more damage. And that's usually what happens.
100%. So I went for my initial visit to the surgeon, and I'd only subbooks twice, I guess. I guess it was technically 3 times because of the 11 months prior thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see guys with this same injury, which is labrum tear, and they'll play a football season on it for 10, 11, 12 games. And every time they're getting hit, it's just coming out. And so it gets to a point where, like, it's just, like, slipping out, like, all the time. And those are the type of surgeries that are really, like, those are the extensive surgeries, the bad surgeries where, like, they start to get worse and worse and worse over time just because, I mean, your bone's coming out of the socket. It's, like, coming out. It's chipping stuff. Like, it gets extensive. So the fact that we handled mine right away, I think that was a big reason my surgery was successful. And they are typically pretty successful, especially with my surgeon. I went to Dr. Paletta, great dude. I have a lot of respect for him. I appreciate him a lot, and he's done a great job. So
very good.
Yeah.
So, is it hard to get as you're going through the rehab?
Yeah.
You're dealing with I'm not playing, but then learning to trust your arm.
Yeah.
Right?
It's really weird. I probably for the first 6 weeks I was in a sling all day, all night, and then after 6 weeks, when nighttime came around, I was able to sleep without it. So it's a really weird feeling at first. Like, you can't do anything. Like, changes your life completely, especially for someone like me that I'm constantly moving up and around and moving. It feels really weird, but as time goes on, it gets better. Every day is better, especially after PT and they're giving you assisted range of motion movement and stuff like that. It gets so much better. So
now you're coming back from the rehab. What is your expectation as far as high school baseball? What's the doctors tell you? Are you going to be at full speed by that time?
Yeah, so actually I just went for my follow-up yesterday, my 22-week follow-up, and got released to do everything. So
very good.
I've been swinging for the past month, started on August 1st. It's about a month-long progression. I was just at 100% overhand this past week, and at first, learning to trust, just how it feels, it's going to feel different. I had surgery on my shoulder. I kind of have to know that, and the fact that I know that makes it easier for me to understand. that like some days are gonna be better than others. I'm gonna have achy days. I'm gonna have days where I'm sore, and it's just part of the process. You just gotta listen to your body, recover the right way, and just move from there. But everything so far has been great. I have absolutely no worries at all. So I'm pretty excited going forward.
So you want to come back. You want to have a good season. You're committed to Mizzou.
Yeah.
How did that process come about? You committed. When did you commit to Mizzou?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
I committed, I want to say summer going into my sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah.
So you've gone through this process. What do your expectations of your senior year moving towards that? Was there any concern? Did the school talk to you at all, or?
Yeah. So I believe in being upfront and honest. I know a lot of guys with injuries, they'll get worried, like, oh, if I tell them, like, they're gonna pull everything and like everything's just gonna go downhill. So I know I've heard of dudes that have gotten surgery and they're post-op for 5 months, and they tell them 5 months after they had surgery, like, I just believe in being upfront and honest. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So like the day after I saw Paletta for my initial visit, knew I needed surgery, called him up, told him, was honest with him. Thankfully, it's not my throwing arm. So this is a surgery that a lot of people come back from. They said nothing changes, just keep him posted. I've talked to him every week, keep him updated, and just go from there. So
very good.
Yeah, I'm
good.
really excited.
Very good. Because as you're moving forward here, let's take a quick look at this. You've got a pretty solid team here.
Yeah.
Guys coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a tough district.
Yeah.
You guys have a tough conference.
Yeah, really.
You
tough.
got, Eureka's sitting there.
Parkway West is new this year to our conference.
Yeah, and they moved up to Class 6 just last year.
Yep.
But they had a really good season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to be tough again.
Yeah.
They're pretty talented. You got Lafayette. I think their talent level is coming back a little bit.
I know their JV team had a good season last year. They obviously have a new coach who I'm really high on. I really like him a lot. So I think that was a good pickup for them.
Yeah. A little younger blood there.
Yeah. So
there's going to be a little turmoil at first, just learning the program, learning your players, stuff like that, getting respect, I think. But once they get going, I think they'll be all right.
So coming into this season, what's your expectation? I mean, it's your senior year. Do you guys, where do you want to go? What's your goals?
So right now, just I want to get better every day as a team, and I want to win districts, and that's where I have it right now. And then after we win districts, you take it day by day from there and work towards the ultimate goal of going as far as you can and winning state. But right now, I think a good goal for us to have is to get better every day, stay on top of each other, pushing each other, and win districts. I think that's a good goal to have.
I love that. That's good leadership, bro.
Yeah.
How many seniors you got coming back this year, bud?
We have three starting pitchers. We got Warner Lenhan, Max Cohen, Rusty Graves. So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do. We'll have Carter Creech, who played second base for us last year, did phenomenal. Sean Keegan played some outfield, left, right field. Jack Lally should be center field this year. I'm really excited to see what he can do. Alex Muscle should be playing first base, DH type deal. Then we have Caden Throneberry's freshman incoming, so I'm excited to see what he can do. He's a good dude. I've never seen him play before, so I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to watch that. Catcher wise, we have Dominic Anselmo, and then senior Will Malsh. So Dom's a junior, but I'm really high on Dom. Me and him are good friends, so I think he has a good work ethic. I like to see guys that work hard, and I like respect that. So I see a lot of that in him. So I hope he does really well.
Very good. So you guys are in pretty good shape. Your PBR rankings, you're set there. You're already committed. So it's just a matter of you got one thing left to do, don't you?
Yeah, just play,
enjoy it, have some fun, enjoy your senior year.
I'm trying to stay healthy and play. That's all I care about right now.
I don't blame you, man.
Yeah.
Tell me, how is it that when you're talking about high school and you're developing these relationships, and I'm going to come back to the summer to that, and we're talking, I think you're right. I agree with you 100%. With high school, there isn't really much. Let's go win a state championship.
Yeah, I mean,
those relationships, does it help you when you're in the summertime, when you're playing with guys you don't normally play with, you never met, you're not really familiar with as much? Mm-hmm. Does it help you bring that back and take a leadership role in your high school team?
Oh, 100%. I think I've been more of a non-vocal kid just growing up. Is how I've been. I think playing baseball and on a high school team and having to be that leader because of like how people respect me and how people look up to me has really helped me, I guess, kind of come out of my shell, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go into places where I'm not as comfortable and be more comfortable in those places. So I'm going to be vocal when I need to be vocal. I'm going to especially lead this year. It's my senior year. But, like, my sophomore year, like, I was called upon to be a leader, and it was hard for me because I'm younger, 2 years younger than some of the kids, and, like, I feel like I'm not respected by them just because they're older. And so I think being older definitely helps with that, but we found a way to make it work. So
very good. I want to get you out of here on this, but I think it's interesting. Those relationships you've developed going and playing in other places, playing with your summer team, how many guys have you met, and how did those relationships develop over time?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to my summer teammates all the time. Like, we're best friends. It's because we like go out there. We all have the same goal. All have great work ethics. I think surrounding yourself with a team of guys that have the same goals and same aspirations as you do, I think that is what makes you a great player, and that's what's going to make you a great player going forward, because they're going to be pushing you. You're going to be pushing them when they need to be pushed, because everyone's going to have that day when they're like, this, like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm sucking today. Like, I can't hit a ball. And so I think you need guys like yourself to bring you up. But I'm really excited to go to Mizzou and play with Caden, Brett, dudes that I've played with for a long time. I'm super pumped about that. I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited. Yeah.
It's interesting, as do you like playing against them in high school?
It's fun. It's just a change. You get to challenge yourself a little bit because they're great players. I love playing against my summer friends in high school just because I know what they're going to bring to the table. I know they're going to bring it every day, and I like performing against people like that. So,
how many of your summer pitcher teammates have you faced as a high school player? Have you faced anybody yet that way?
I faced Kenton Deverman.
Oh,
obviously phenomenal.
He's tough to hit too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's sneaky. Yeah, he's sneaky.
Yeah.
I faced Seth once. Haven't faced Jackson yet, Yarberry. Obviously, I haven't faced Brett since probably freshman year. But yeah, like live bullpen stuff like that. I'm excited to see who we face this year.
Have you had any success off those guys?
I had a good ball with Kenton, and then I think I walked against Seth. But yeah, so I've had some success. So
good.
Yeah.
I always think it's fun. I love that because to me, they're your buddies and whatnot, but you're competitors.
Right.
So right?
At the end of the day, you're there to compete, but after all is said and done, you're friends. So absolutely. Yeah.
But you can give them a little in the dugout, right?
Yeah, of course. If they need it, get on them. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Man, I enjoyed this conversation greatly.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate it.
Oh no, man, it's our pleasure. It's something that we enjoy doing. We want the folks to get to know you're off to Mizzou after this, and so there's going to be a lot of people around being able to see you get to play.
Yeah,
I got to ask you about that real quick because, you want to play at that next level. You want
100%. It's always been a dream of mine to go play Division I college baseball.
And your hopes and dreams are even beyond, to get to that.
Yeah.
Next step is always right there in front of you, right?
Yep. So I just try to live in the present, and I think that's about to be the present, and just go from there, make the best of every day. And I think staying consistent and allowing me to be the best version of myself every day is what's going to help me succeed going forward. So.
Jack Holubowski, guys, Marquette High School, St. Louis prospects in the summertime. Good luck to you. I'm so glad you're healthy, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're looking forward to watching you play. Hopefully we'll get we're able to maybe get a stream of game that you guys are playing.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be fun.
A lot of good matchups this year, so we got a good schedule.
There are. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and hitters.
That's right. Keep hitting.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the guy that does it right there. We'll see y'all next time.